Well, hey everybody, I don't think I'm going to be going out for a motorbike ride today. Looks like we're flooded in. And I've already had a session of this yesterday. It's pretty bad down here. Anyway, we'll go back in the warm or something. Do something else. I'll tell you about what happened to me yesterday with the 350 Bullet. Catch you in a minute. Poor little 350 Bullet in the back of the van. And I'll tell you why it's in the back of the van in a minute. See you in a minute. I want to talk to you about what happened to me yesterday. I expect you want to know about the title. The Joys of Motorcycling Not. Well, it was a bit like that yesterday. I had my day planned out yesterday. I had an appointment to see my accountant at 10 o'clock. And I thought, right, well, if I shoot off a bit earlier, then I can go to the cafe, which is next door but one, to my accountant, go and get a breakfast, go to the accountant, and then after I finish there, go down to Andy Tierner's, have a cup of coffee and a crack with him, see his new bikes, and then come back and then start on this, the old Interceptor, the new Interceptor. So that's how the day planned out. Oh, I left on the 350 cast iron Bullet, because that's my go-to bike for the winter. And yeah, it wasn't particularly cold, but I shot off anyway, and got about 7 miles, and go through a village, go down a big hill up the other side, and there's a little back road that I take, which cuts a good bit of the journey off. It's about 19 miles to the accountants and back. So there I am, I'm trundling along behind a little white van, and he goes down this little back road. Then suddenly he puts his brakes on, because it's only 1 car width wide, this little road, it's tiny. If you meet anybody, somebody's got to back up or find somewhere to pass. Well, halfway down this road it's only about a quarter of a mile long. It gets quite wide, just for a little bit, and there's a big passing place there, so you can pass a lorry if you want. Anyway, the guys decided to do a U-turn in the middle of the road and do about a 30-point turn, like he did. And he kept nodding and smiling and waving to me out the window, poor old boy. Anyway, he got round, got past, so I carried on, and sure enough, the road was flooded. And it does flood down there quite often. So I thought, okay, well, I know how deep it gets because I've been through it hundreds of times when it's been flooded. It can only flood to a certain depth, then it's got to run over the verges and into the fields, because the field, it's actually on top of the hill, so it runs down the field and it's gone. So that's it. So I'm down to bottom gear with the old 350 Bullet, ticking over, start to go through this flooded bit. I'm just coming up to where it's really wide, so there's a fair expanse of water there. I looked down and it was actually coming over the footrests, and I thought, oof, that's deep. But it was also spilling into the field. Anyway, I thought I'll get through it, no problem. I'm keeping first gear, just let it tick over, don't make any big waves. And you can't see round to the other side of the flood because it goes around the left-hand bend on where this wide bit is. But I know where the flooding ends normally. It's a fair way, but you can get through it. So there's me chugging along, and then suddenly I saw like a tsunami coming around the corner, and I thought, whatever's that? Before I could think about it, whatever it was a bloke in a van doing about 30 through this. I mean, you can tell how deep it was up to the footrest and coming over the footrest, and the bow wave he was pushing in front of him was about 2.5 feet high. And he made no attempt to stop or slow down as he went past me. And I kid you not, the tsunami that he caused went right over my headlight, over the speedo, the handlebars, and hit me square in the chest. And then the old Enfield decided that's enough of all that now. I'm not going to play any more of this. So that cut out. So what do? You pull the clutch in, stick your feet down, don't you? So now my boots are full of water. I'm absolutely drenched. So I got off the bike and started to push it out of the flood. And blow me if another bloke in another van coming the other way was going to do exactly the same thing. So I just pushed the bike out in front of him, and me as well. He had to stop. And he wound the window down, effing and blinding at me. Yeah, you know, how much bloody road do you want, and all the rest of it. And I said, mate, I said, if I've just had all this with another van, I said, it's just absolutely soaked me. And if you think I'm going to let you do the same, you've got another thing coming. Just slow down a little bit and let me get through. I'll get out here and I'll knock your head off and all the rest of it. I said, good. I said, because if you want to do that, you've got to get out of your van. And if you get out of your van to do that, I will hold you under the water until you stop bubbling. And I think he sort of looked at me, and the look on my face said I was serious. So he shut the window and then carried on effing and blinding at me. So regardless of that, I pushed the bike out, absolutely sodden, and I was tamping mad by then, absolutely tamping mad. And I thought my phone will all be soaked, my wallet will all be soaked, everything's soaked. So I got the bike out onto a hard bit just at the other side of the flooding, and there was another bit of flooding a little bit further on, but it's only about 8 inches deep. And I looked up and this Volkswagen Polo was coming through it, creeping along. And that was an old lady, I don't know if it was her mate or what, but anyway. She pulled up, wound the window down, she says, is it very deep? And I was tamping mad by them. I said, it's only waist deep there, you'll have no trouble. Keep your wipers going and you'll be able to see underwater with this. And she said, but you're all wet. I said, yeah, I've just got out of the bath. I was just I was not in the mood for any of it. And she said, oh, well, what's the matter with your motorcycle? Is it conked out? And I said, yes, it has conked out, and so have I. And I said, and it's up to you whether you go through it, but you'll drown if you do. Oh, she said, I could offer you a lift somewhere if you need a lift, but I'm afraid you can't get into my car with wet clothes. I said, oh, well, okay, well, so basically what you're saying is I'd like to help you, but I'm not going to. Same thing. She said, well, I can't let you into my car with wet clothes. I said, have you got a heater in your car? And she said, yes. I said, does it work? She said, I think so, yes. Right, okay, well, I'll take all my clothes off, I'll jump in the car. I said, and then you can't complain that I'm really wet. And anyway, she said, no, I don't want any of that. So I don't know what she meant by that. Anyway, so she backed away, and we got surrounded by cats now. Come on, Sooty, come on, I'll be here if you want. Anyway, long story short, I'll push the bike round the corner, and I didn't want to leave it on the side of the road because it'd get nicked. So I found a house, knocked on the door, a lovely couple came to the door, and I said, can I ask a favour of you, please? Can I please leave my motorcycle? She says, is it raining? I said, no, it's not raining. I've just been through the floods, that's all. She said, oh, and are you on a motorcycle? I said, well, I wouldn't look like this if I was in a car, would I? She laughed. I said, oh, sorry, I'm tamping mad. I said, I've just been drowned by a van that came the other way. It's conked me motorbike out. Can I leave it in your drive? And then I've got to go and pick my van up to come and recover it. She said, oh, right, yes, that'll be fine. We'd offer you a lift somewhere, but unfortunately, both me and my husband tested yesterday positive for COVID. And I said, don't you worry about that, my dear. I said, you go back in the warm and get over your COVID, and I'll leave my bike in your drive. And thanks ever so much. So they went in, and it was a 7-mile walk home because I realised that I hadn't got my phone with me. And I hadn't got the numbers because they're all in my phone. So there's nobody I could have phoned, and it just went on and on. And I hadn't got my wallet with me either. So I had to walk 7 miles home. Now, I was absolutely saturated, and my leather jacket that I wear is it's a heavy leather jacket at the best of times when it's dry. But when it's wet, it weighs more than I do. So And my boots, well, they just felt like they were concrete blocks on my feet, because wet leather, everybody knows wet leather is heavy compared with dry leather. So I trudged home 7 miles, uphill and down dale, and got my van, and decided I must go and collect the bike. So I went and picked that up. Then I thought, right, I haven't had any breakfast, I haven't had any lunch, anything. I'm going to go to the cafe now. This was at, I got there at the cafe at 20 to 3, and they shut at 3. And I know the guy really well. I've been a customer of his ever since he opened it. And he said, do you just want drinks? And I said, no, I want food, George. Give me food. And he said, I think she's just, hang on a minute. And he went in the kitchen, because it's his wife does the cooking. And she said, he said, I think she's turned everything off now, because we shut her in 20 minutes. I said, if I don't get some food, George, I'm going to die. And all the customers that were left in there all looked at me. He said, hang on a minute. And he's gone in the kitchen. He said, Dave's here, wants a bacon and egg bat. Can we do him one? She says, yeah, okay, I'll do him one. So she's done it. I got a coffee, walloped all that lot down, was out there by the time they closed. Walked to, I don't know, 30 yards down the road, I'm at my accountant's. I thought, everything has gone wrong today, what can go wrong now? So I walked into the accountant's, and she said, can I help you? I said, yeah. I said, I've got an appointment at 10 o'clock this morning. This was just gone 3. And I said, I'm sorry I'm late. I said, but I got stuck in a flood and I had to walk 7 miles home to get my van. You could have rung. I said, yes, I would have rung. If I'd have got my phone with me, I would have rung you straight away, but I didn't have my phone with me. So I do apologise for being late. She says, this simply won't do. This is the secretary. This is high and mighty. So I thought, well, anyway. Anyway, I got sorted out at the accountant's. And I got the bike in the back of the van. I went down to Andy Tiernan's, told him the whole story. He said, you're not having a lot of luck today, are you? I said, no. He said, come and have a coffee, come on. So we went and had a cup of coffee, and then Yap and then Natter and Peter, the guy that took over from me, really, I suppose, when I was there. No, he didn't take over from me. I was there on my own for a while after the previous. Anyway, that's another story. We had a natter, and I said to Andy, I said, he said, what's the matter with the old thing? I said, it's got the exhaust valve stuck. Because I didn't say, but after I got it out of the flood, I had no compression at all. And I thought, well, it's either sucked up a lung full of water and blown the head gasket, or it's a valve stuck. And when I was kicking it, you could hear it chuffing and sucking through the exhaust pipe. So I thought it's an exhaust valve. So I took the tappet cover off, and the 2 tappets that worked the valves. The inlet valve was absolutely spot on, right clearance, everything. The exhaust tappet had loads of slack, about 1/4 of an inch of lifting up and down on it when the valve's supposed to be shut. I thought it's an exhaust valve. And he said, I said it's either bent and stuck, or it's just stuck. I said, but it's not got an electric starter on it, and I can't turn it over fast enough to find out. But I said, can I stick it on your rolling road and see if it just lets go? He said, yeah, you know where it is, don't you? So got my bike out of the van, got it on the rolling road, turned it over, and you could feel that there was no resistance when it was trying to turn it over. And then suddenly, it just started, I could hear the motor on the rolling road take the strain, and I thought, oh, it's got a bit of resistance now. And it actually started sounding like it was turning over. So I thought, I'll let it run for a second, and just let some more oil get up the top end, and turn the ignition on, turn the petrol on, away it went. So I took it outside, ran it for a good long while, and got it nice and hot, and it's back to starting first kick, no damage done. But days like that, the joys of motorcycling seem very distant, don't they? You know, I mean, I wasn't going to take the head off on the side of the road. Well, the only head I was going to take off was that van driver. If he'd have come with me, I'd have took his head off and give it to the next door neighbour's dog. But there we are. So all's well that ends well. But I was going to get on with the Interceptor, the 650, yesterday. So now I'm going to be doing that tomorrow. So I'll be uploading a video of me ripping this old girl apart and giving it a new life, and you can follow that if you want. So there we are, tale of woe and gloom and doom, and I'm good at that, but it all came out right in the end. But like I say, the joys of motorcycling seemed very distant yesterday. They're all back today, mind, but yeah, I mean, although I'm flooded in, can't get out anywhere at the moment, not till the floods go down. So we've had a hatful of rain here, but not as bad as places like Tewkesbury and places like I've seen in Gloucester. Not good. Anyway, enough of this old rambling storytelling. Tune in tomorrow and I'll show you ripping this whole thing out, and we'll get it down to the nitty gritty of what I'm going to keep on it. There won't be much left in the picture, but there we are. So, on that note, I shall leave you alone, because I've got, I don't know where all the cats are. They're all sitting here somewhere. They're never far away. There's one, sitting there, being a nuisance. I don't know where the other one is. No, she's not in here, she's gone out, she's fed up. Right, on that note, I will leave you in peace. Have a good evening, or morning, or whenever you're watching this. And I'll catch you tomorrow, at some point later tomorrow, which is Saturday. Bye-bye.